With more screen usage and indoor time, myopia, also known as nearsightedness, is increasing and getting worse in children. Now, certified eye doctors can prescribe MySight One Day, the first and only FDA-approved soft contact lens to slow myopia progression in age-appropriate children. Visit CooperVision.com to find a Brilliant Futures certified eye doctor near you.
Your eyes and your vision are under attack. Damaging blue light from the sun, your phone, your computer, your tablet, even light bulbs and car headlights is constantly bombarding you. The good news is our eyes actually already have a line of defense to counter the effects of blue light. This defense is made up of 3 pigments called carotenoids. MacuHealth with Micromicelle, the only supplement with the exclusive patent on all 3 macular carotenoids and Micromicelle technology.
Hi, I'm New Jersey optometrist Dr. Kerry Gelb. Here's a sneak peek of a brand new show I created with California ophthalmologist Dr. Harvey Fishman called 4 Eyes. Through short vignettes, our goal is to make eye care, nutrition, and lifestyle medicine fun, informative, and entertaining. Here's a sneak peek. Please hit the bell and subscribe to 4 Eyes.
Did you realize that some of the greatest ocular blunders happen because of makeup? My name is Dr. Harvey Fishman.
And I'm Dr. Kerry Gelb. And welcome to 4 Eyes. Enough with the makeup already, Jesus. But makeup in the eye is a serious problem. It could be a serious
makeup
problem
on the face too.
Yeah, especially for me.
How you evolved.
In
any case, it's a real problem. You're right, and it's amazing. So, what are some of the statistics? I mean, it's actually remarkable to me how much makeup is used not only by women but by men. What is your?
But the average female puts about 12 different personal care products on their body a day, which is over 168 chemicals. And the average man put over 80 chemicals a day. And the teenager, over 17 personal care products on their body a day. So, these chemicals are toxic in many ways. They're not necessarily studied, so we don't really know what they do. But we know some of these chemicals are definitely gender benders, affect estrogen, and could really affect people.
It's interesting because I really didn't know a lot about the effect of makeup. I will give a big plug to my colleagues, the Dry Eye Divas. That's Dr. Perriman, Odell, and Dr. Sullivan.
I love the Dry Eye Divas.
You do. I love them too.
They're the best. Aren't they great?
They actually are. They have really brought to the forefront what the dangers are of makeup on the eyes, and I think it's a really tough problem with our patients because wearing makeup is such an intrinsic part. And I always love my famous joke is that if I tell my patient you can't wear makeup, I won't have any more patients. So I mean, how do we what do we have to tell them, and what are the things that what are the symptoms that happens, and how can we relate this to makeup? What do you think? What do you tell your patients?
I think the main thing that people come in is their eye burns. I get a lot of burning, and I can look at the patient. It's almost always a female, and I look at it and I can see the shininess on the eyelids.
Right.
And it's most of the time they've come in with a bag of drops. They've been to 3 or 4 doctors, and I know what it is. And it's wrinkle cream. And these wrinkle creams go right through the eyelid. The eyelids are the thinnest tissue in the body. Anything you put on the eyelid is going to go through and it's going to burn. So it comes down to, do you want burning eyes? And I could try to treat the symptoms for the burning eyes, which we'll get into. Or do you want to stop the wrinkle cream?
Yeah, and wrinkle cream and eye and mascara and stuff that you put on the eyelashes. I mean, that's all part of it. I mean, what's interesting is that it's kind of like it's one of what we call in medicine iatrogenic, which means that it's caused by people or caused by us doctors. But that is really a big cause of why we have all these issues. And it's not just wrinkle cream, as you mentioned. It's also fake eyelashes, some of the retinol and Retin A products that we put on our face, because even though you put it on the face, it actually diffuses up into the eyes, and we get redness and burning and discharge, and you can have what looks like a pink eye. It's all caused by makeup. You can have something that is dry eye disease, whatever, all caused by makeup.
People love their personal care products. There's over 500,000 searches each day between all the social media on what's the best personal care products. And one of the problems is that people that are searching, they're not getting their information from the doctors. They're getting information from people that, you know,
Maybe
that are
not
interested in makeup.
Yeah, always go to the dry eye divas because they know their stuff. But I mean, it's true. I mean, you need to be learning this from qualified people who are either ophthalmologists, optometrists, people who are or dermatologists, people who study this and really understand what the effects can be. And it's fascinating because if when you identify that, most of those terrible symptoms of really bad eye burning and stinging, that could just go away. It could be like immediate.
And the redness,
Redness, absolutely.
People don't like to have red eyes. So they don't like the red eyes, but they like the makeup. So they're putting the beauty products on to become more beautiful, but then they're coming into the office with these very, very red eyes. And, they want a solution. And it's very difficult to tell people not to wear makeup.
Right.
So sometimes as we go through the solutions, there are things that can be done. So there's benzalkonium chloride. There's parabens, which affects hormones in the body.
Right.
There's something called quinarium in it. What is that?
Yeah, that's a chemical term, which we're not going to explain. But it's another chemical that really does cause toxicity to the tissues. There's a very delicate balance. There's a very delicate tissue milieu going on in the eye, and it's a homeostasis, and all of these chemicals, can definitely disrupt the force, so to speak. Now, the thing that's really interesting.
Well, let's tell them what it is. It's a type of formaldehyde. It's a formaldehyde that causes that they use as a preservative.
As a PhD chemist, I'm very proud of you. You told that like a true chemist, but it's true. And actually, what's interesting also about some of these other topics are, when we get back to the endocrine thing, we know that hormones are exquisitely related to how the glands are produced. We know that estrogens and testosterone and various androgens all cause different levels of the oils being produced in different ratios, and we know that any kind of a chemical that would disrupt that balance can lead to dry eye, red eye, irritation, and that sort of stuff. And these makeups are just full of that stuff. I mean, the other thing that's also super interesting is just like, as I said, the growth of different bacteria and viruses in this. The eye really is this like different mechanisms that keep the eye healthy. You have your tears, and you have your oils, and you have your glands, and you have your bling. I mean, imagine if you had a toxic waste dump, okay, that you were rubbing on your cornea on the top of your eye every day. That is really what you're doing sometimes with these makeups, because they stick in your eyelid as you blink. They are touching your cornea and they are irritating it to no end. And so we really need to understand that when somebody comes in, when our patients come in that have these issues, man, it's important to have this conversation, and you don't have to hit them over the head with it right away, but you can be kind of delicate, and you can kind of say, hey, there are some really interesting, solutions to this. Like, for instance, one of the things is never, ever, ever use waterproof makeup. I mean, because if it's waterproof, then how are you going to get it off? And the waterproof makeup is just such a no-no. And you can also suggest other things, like you can say, hey, here are a list of the chemicals that we have in these products. Try to avoid those.
MacuHealth, your science-born and tested solutions for visual performance, macular degeneration, and dry eye syndrome. New products coming soon. Embrace the science.
Hey, so we're talking about some of the chemicals that are in these makeups, and we need to avoid them. We need to get our patients not to use them. And so, what are some of those that you would and you'd like to tell them? Hey, don't make sure you avoid this in the makeup.
So I talk to my patients and I ask them, do they want me to treat the cause, or do you want me to treat the symptoms? Do you want me to work with the makeup?
Yeah.
And generally, they want to work with the makeup. Very few women willing to give up their makeup. So we try to give them some guidelines. First there's this website called Pedivore. They could get some really good products without all these different types of chemicals in it that are pretty safe. That's one thing. And as for makeup remover, if they're using oil-based makeup, we love eyelid cleanser is very good for this tea tree oil, which helps take off some of the makeup.
I've heard Paragon is another one that I've told some of my patients to use. It's very mild, and I like it as well. But I mean, I think there are a lot of different solutions. I think you got to work with your patients. I mean, as I said, you tell them not to use makeup, you won't have any more patients. So you got to work with reality. I mean, people want to wear this stuff, and it's important for people's looks and for their self-esteem and so forth. And you don't want to cut that off. So we got to work in an intelligent way so that we can make their eyes super healthy.
And Johnson & Johnson makes an eyelid scrub. That it's a big pad to help clean off some of the makeup. And I like hydrochloric acid. I like that.
Hypochlorous acid, one of my absolute favorites.
Hypochlorous acid,
That's
yes,
right.
That's right. It's really good.
Yeah, no, it's great. And there are a whole bunch of different companies that offer that now. And then there's like avoidance of other, I like to tell my patients, like avoid certain things that, just avoid, certain types of product. We talked a little bit about, if you could avoid an eyelash grower. Types Retin-A and retinol are these products that actually dry up the glands. They're great because they make your skin look better. But boy, oh boy, do they dry up your glands. And so you got to be really careful about that. In fact, Accutane for high school kids, boy, is that a problem. And that's dermatologists are just now sort of learning about the problems when you start treating kids with Accutane, how badly you can really damage and destroy their glands for the kid's whole life, which is a shame.
And I like my patients to try to take a makeup holiday. So maybe take a day or two off of no makeup,
right?
Every so often.
That's right. And I think that some of the other topics that in other areas that we need to really look at are avoiding. Basically, when you put stuff on your eyes, you just have to be mindful that these things can cause problems. Whether it's a tattoo, whether it's a stick-on eyelash, whether it's different product that have these preservatives in them. Formaldehyde, these chemicals, and I think it's just you have to really think about your eye being extremely delicate, and there are lots of things that can be reversible, right? I mean, we can reverse some of the problems, but some of them are going to be irreversible. If you damage the glands, we do not know how to bring those glands back. It's very difficult, and so we have to be mindful of that and really think about that. Not only for for older people who are wearing makeup, but for young adults. It's really important that we tell our daughters and sons to if they're going to be using makeup, that they have to be very mindful of that, especially the kids, because again, the kids, if they're wearing makeup at an earlier age, these types of problems are going to compound, and then they're really in trouble later in life, and they can't go back in time, unfortunately.
And you want people to avoid a conjunctival tattoo. The white
conjunctival tattoo.
To put a tattoo in there.
Please
it's really
do
a
not
horrible
use
thing.
Do not use conjunctival eye candy. Do not do that. It's a big no.
Because then we need somebody like you to save them.
That's right.
And that's a big job, isn't it?
It's a big job. I gotta get in there, and that's really a problem. Yeah. And so kind of like in summary, we talk about like the problems that in terms of a lot of the issues that people have with their eyes come from makeup. We talked a little bit about what the mechanisms are, and we talked a little bit about how to avoid these things. Is there anything else that we need to talk about to try to bring home this incredibly important topic at all?
Well, it's important that you get your advice from your eye doctor. But for 4 Eyes, I'm Dr. Kerry Gelb.
And I'm Dr. Harvey Fishman.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Your eyes and your vision are under attack. Damaging blue light from the sun, your phone, your computer, your tablet, even light bulbs and car headlights is constantly bombarding you. The good news is our eyes actually already have a line of defense to counter the effects of blue light. This defense is made up of 3 pigments called carotenoids. MacuHealth with Micromicelle, the only supplement with the exclusive patent on all 3 macular carotenoids and Micromicelle technology.
Fitting multifocal contact lenses presents a big opportunity to meet patient needs while growing your practice. Alcon is your partner not only with our innovative portfolio, but through e-learning. Learn to enhance your multifocal strategy today with the Alcon Experience Academy.
OIE Broadcasting is the emerging leader in social media. We use scientific entertainment to drive more patients into your office. Visit oybroadcasting.com and sign up today.
Each generation was supposed to be healthier than the last one. Lifespan was supposed to be increasing. We were supposed to be in this paradise by now. Instead of getting healthier and healthier, it seems to have gone the opposite way.
Millennials were projected to be the first generation in history to not outlive the generation before them.
We are certainly headed for disaster.
I think a lot of people are beginning to question the whole story.
We live in a time where the paradigms are shifting.
And the optometrist, in my opinion, is one of the best kept secrets.
The public doesn't realize about going to the eye doctor. So many different diseases actually manifest in the eye. The back of the eye is the only place in the body that you could actually see the blood vessels.
Completely non-invasively, you could screen thousands of people, not just for their eye health, but for their whole body health.
Because this disease is here, it's also going to be here.
And I can look into the back of my eyeball, and there are expert doctors on the ground who are looking at my eyeball while I'm doing it.
The eye is the canary of the mind.
The eye is the kingdom.
Will everyone please open their eyes?
Since I bought Safe For You, my dad makes me clean his boat.
Es natural y es un buen producto.
Every time I go back to school, my mom always makes sure that I have my Safe For You products. I bring extra, and my roommates certainly don't mind.
It's a good thing I had Safe For You to clean up after this little guy.
When my hands get dry, I like to wash them with Safe For You.
And most importantly, the reason why I buy Safe For You is because it's safe for me and you.